Hello everyone watching, we are here at Roscommon for the first Hold the Line here. It's looking up to be a nice day today, although it's a bit cloudy, but we'll get through it. I just want to say, if you're watching this, please share it everywhere you can, as much as you can, because they're trying to block us in multiple places. So just keep sharing and keep watching, and hope you enjoyed this live stream today. Thank you very much. Hello everyone, we are here at New Ross. New Roscommon, sorry. Confused from last time. Deja vu, yeah, deja vu. First time here. Would you have any comment, Fiona, about the event here in Roscommon today?
Hi guys. Hi David. So it's our first one in Roscommon, and there seems to be good reaction from people. Would you agree? Like, there's a good bit of beeping, and we have a fella coming now with a big speaker over to us, so this is good. And just the same issues were given. Actually, it was Robert pointed out here to me that we're right beside a mart, so it would have been very good to have more of, I'll just get it here, these ones here, the war on food and farming. So this one would have been good to hand out to the farmers. So that's on the sovereign people. I just downloaded a few of them, printed them myself, but actually that would have been a really good one to have up here, and maybe just go at the mart there where all the farmers are, because it's showing how, like, they're culling the cows and buying up all the farmland. Like Bill Gates has he has a huge amount anyway. I can't remember the percentage. But that would be a good one, because they certainly know what's going on now, and just to put it in words for them, A lot of people know there's something going on, and I think that's what a lot of the beeping is for, but they can't put their finger on it, And so this is like I think to hold the line is a first step towards people's awakening, because they see it, and then they can go on to the sovereign people, and things affect them, like the housing will affect them directly, and so I think it's much easier way of waking people up than saying, I know it's very important to stop the vaccination as well, but in terms of waking people up, and we need the masses on our side, I always think a gentle approach and not to scare them. So and obviously the other thing is highly important too, as Andy is doing that in the vaccination centres, and I think he's really going to succeed. And when you think they're closed down in England now and they're still going here for the 5 to 11 year olds, it's absolutely scandalous. So I'll be supporting him on Fridays. I couldn't go the last two, but I'll go from now on if possible at all, outside Skull Carmel in Limerick. And I know he's up in Carrigan-Shannon. I'm sure you guys are with him, so you know all about that. But with terms of Hold the Line, so it's the same issues again we're bringing out here, and with more and more beeping. It's great, like, it's just such a positive feeling. And then it's like the first step. It's like Matthias Desmet said in his book, what's it called? Something totalitarianism. I can never remember it. Can't remember. I always forget. Psychology of totalitarianism. Okay. And he's given a talk in Dublin actually in a few weeks, but unluckily enough I didn't get in time for the tickets. But like in it he says, as long as you're out there, you can break the mass formation they're under, which is their hypnosis they're under. So that's why I think this is so important. And next week, or tomorrow, sorry, we'll be in County Leitrim. What's it called? Robert, what's it called? Manor Hamilton, I think it is. Manor Hamilton in County Leitrim. So please join us if you're up around there, or go to sovereignpeople.ie to find all the events. And thanks so much, lads. As always, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There seems to be more and more people coming to join us today. We started off with a few, but there's more and more coming. There's more and more honking, so that's good. People are supporting. We're giving out leaflets to people in cars if they stop by, if they're interested in them. So there's a few people taking them. Just hope they read them, you know. But yeah, seems to be a good day ahead of ourselves, so looks to be good. Hello.
Hello.
Would we be able to interrupt you for a second for a quick interview?
Interrupt me.
We are here in Roscommon for the first Hold the Line here. Would you have any comment as to the event so far?
It's been really good. We were handing out loads of leaflets and people are giving us a few beeps. So it's their first time, so I don't think they really know what to make it at first. But I think people, especially with the cash one over there, use cash, and hold on to your freedom. I think with AIB trying to go cashless there was just the end of July, and the pushback everyone gave. So this is obviously working. So.
Sure, yeah. I'm with AIB as well, and when I saw that they're trying to go cashless, I was like, no, not right now. No, it's terrible, But I noticed that it's not all the branches that are going cashless. It's only a few, and then they're gonna probably go to the rest of them,
That's how it starts. They do it small little steps, and then it all happens. So if we don't kind of stand up and do something, so. And these signs are great because people can come up and talk to you. You're an interactive sign, so, and they mightn't agree with everything on this, but they'll definitely agree with like 2 or 3, so.
Yeah, that's it. And they always try to do it slowly, steadily, get people used to it, and then by the time it's too late, people won't be able to stand up. It'll be too late by then. So I feel like they're trying to always slowly but steadily, and people won't realize until it's too late usually.
Well, they got away with it during the lockdown. Vodafone, I know in Athlone they don't take cash there. I mean, cash is a legal tender, so.
Same in Galway. The shop in the Vodafone in Galway, they don't accept cash either.
And like pensioners, they get their pay. Whatever you get for the week, you budget, and then they have that. And I think it's a disgrace. You should be taking both.
Yeah, they should be, because it's still why can't you pay with cash? It's still money, like. They don't want to take it. It's weird. I don't understand it.
It makes no sense. But then they want to know exactly what you're spending everything on. And if I'm a bad citizen out here and I'm saying, having a cashless society is a bad thing. We can't have an opinion on stuff. So, and they'll turn everything that we say into hate speech.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. But we gotta fight it, and we're trying to. People are supporting. There's more and more coming. So. It's looking up to be great, and thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you for coming to another county in the Midlands. Hopefully we'll get all the counties covered.
No problem, we're trying to. Thank you very much. You're Mahagat.
Oh.
Hello, we'll be able to stop you for a second for a quick interview.
Yes.
So we are here in Roscommon for the first Hold the Line, and I was just wondering if you have any comments about the event today.
Well, a few people have stopped because I don't want to force people to take a leaflet, but I'm just saying a few people have stopped and they're all saying fair play to you, well done. We agree 100% with you, and it's been very and bipping as well, and great response. And but that's as far as it goes. They're not saying anything else because they're just driving along, But a lot of people have been stopping and taking the leaflets and said they'd read them, and they do agree with what has been written here.
Well, it's good that people are stopping, at least taking the leaflets, given the time of day. Not everyone, of course, but it's a small step but a big step. It's gonna take time, but there's a lot of people honking all the time, so
Exactly.
it's looking up to be good. And the more we do it, the more often we do it, I'd say we have more people supporting.
Yeah, I would agree with you that this is our first day at it, and I think it becomes a common sight, and people see this on Saturdays. They might even stop and read. Might only read one today, but next week they'll read another few, and this might be curious then and ask for the leaflets the next day. They might be a bit shy today or something, but it's going very well, and some people are stopping, and we haven't had any ugly remarks or rude remarks. So
Yeah,
that's good.
That's great to hear. Thank you very much, and good luck with the day today. Thank you very much. How you doing? Just wondering, would you have a couple of words to say about the event here today?
Sure.
No worries, take your time.
I'll leave the leaflets aside. How you doing? It's COVID Action 1984, is it?
Yeah.
Fair play to these lads. I mean, you're covering all the events all over the country. Today's the first day here in Roscommon, so we like to come up and try and give them a little bit of support. Often, in terms of Hold the Line, the first event's the most difficult one, really, to get that going, to get past that barrier of fear and, oh my God, are people going to be shouting at me and all the rest of it. And as you can see, no, they're not. And there's people just shouting there as you pass, and good on you. So it's just to help them get that first event kind of in the bag, as it were. Gives a nice good turnout. As you say, a hold the line event slightly different to a kind of a normal demonstration. You don't need many people. Do you know, if you have 5 people, so you can see this roundabout, you know, it's completely captured. This is all angles coming in and out here, and they're getting to see the message. And that's really all we're trying to do here, is to let people know there is an alternative narrative going on here. There isn't just this kind of objective truth of what you see on the RTE news is the absolute truth. We're very concerned about, obviously there's the World Economic Forum, that end of things, the kind of the controlling of our cabinets by their own words. There's Irish neutrality, which Simon Coveney seems to say what it means to him is he can choose whatever side he wants. I mean, that's not neutrality, that's actually sovereignty. But anyway, you know, we're concerned about the digital currencies and, you know, the kind of cashless society, which seems to be on the cards, and you know, these things that are affecting everybody in the kind of and are going to affect them even more so going forward. So that's it. We're just trying to let people know there are people that don't go along with this, that don't believe everything they have in the news, that do use their own adult discernment, and we're just trying to let them know that we are here, you know. And if you feel like that, please come and join us. You know.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It seems like people are supporting more and more in each of the places that we go to. There's more and more people, you know, coming to join us. There's more people honking, even if they don't fully understand what we're all about. They still try to, you know, they read the signs. They ask questions. They try to figure out what this is all about. You know, they read the leaflets, and there's a lot of people interested. I just feel like they might be afraid to come out as we are, because they just, you know, the backlash from online sources is always bad, you know. But there's always going to be people that are against us, and I think a lot of people are afraid to do what we are doing just because they're afraid that they're gonna become a target, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, when you talk about being a target, it's not with the general public. It's with your friends, it's with your family. You know, these are where the conflicts are absolutely happening. But just on your point there about the receptiveness of the general public, you're absolutely right. Because I can remember this kind of a year or so ago, and things have changed, where you used to get some support, a lot of kind of people pretending they can't see you, and some aggravation. Now, it's very rare to get any aggravation at all. Now we're either getting support, or just, you know, kind of people look away, which is blissful compared to what it used to be. Yeah. So you're absolutely right. There does seem to be a change in the public consciousness here, a softening towards us. I suppose the kind of realization, you know, given what has happened over the last couple of years, that God, you know, maybe you were right. Maybe you were onto something there. Maybe it wasn't all quite as straightforward as we were being told on the news. And as we can see all over the world now, the gradual backtracking of the kind of the lines they were kind of pushing for so long. So yeah, I think it's very positive. I'm delighted to be here today now to help Roscommon get up off the fleet, and hopefully after today now they'll make this a regular event, as it is with, like, I think we have 30 hold the lines going on across Ireland this week, which is fantastic, and it's great because it's local people in their own local communities, which is the way it was always needed to be, you know. Rather than getting 10,000 people down into Dublin, you know, what is that? You know, 5 local people doing this, getting eyeballs on the message. That's what it's all about. So I'm delighted to be a part of it here today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a good day. Good luck with it. Yeah, there's more and more honking. There's more and more honking. More people supporting, saying fair play. That's really good. That's really good. A lot better than it used to be 1 or 2 years ago, as the man there said. We're going good. Going strong. Would you have any words to say about the event here today?
It's good. It's good to see kind of people getting out and being active and getting the message out, because with what's going on and what's going to come during the winter, with the huge ESB bills and the huge ESB hikes, it's going to be a complete disaster. I'm worried myself. Yeah, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to, you know, pay what I luckily enough I haven't got like a massive ESB bill yet, but I know it's on the way and I'm waiting for it.
Yeah. So it's going to be crazy, I think. And I think as long as people stand up like they did for the water charges, they're going to bring it back down. Because remember a few years ago, about 5-10 years ago, I'm not sure how long ago it was, there was the water charges and people just didn't pay.
Yeah.
And after a while, even the people that did pay, they got refunded for it. So I think if enough people stand up for it and just say, no, we're not doing it, they're going to bring it back, because they're making excuses as to why the prices are soaring so high. But they're saying that there might not be enough electricity to go around. So why should we pay more for less?
Absolutely, but I think the ESB is kind of the hill to go on. Like during the height of COVID, you know, I couldn't believe everybody just went along with everything, and I was thinking, like, how come people didn't get on board, you know, get on board against the tyranny for this, like they did with the water charges. But I think with the ESB they might do, because the ESB will directly affect them, because it's not the same thing in the way that they had the fear of death, you know, when at the height of all the COVID propaganda. But I think with the ESB it'll be different. I think in that sense you can get everybody to get on board like they did with the water charges. I'm certainly hoping.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think we just have to let people, more and more people, know that there's people actually going out there protesting this, so they know that there's a place where they can go. You know, because you know, if people aren't protesting against them, people don't see people protesting, they won't want to start themselves, because they'd be afraid that it's not enough people or something like that. But we have these Hold the Lines all over Ireland, and more people supporting, and they see it everywhere. In nearly every county you get people seeing these yellow signs, and they're like, okay, this is happening everywhere. And I have a feeling if it comes to it, they're gonna come out and they're gonna protest the water charge, not the water charge, the electricity charges, because it's crazy now, you know.
Well, it's true, because the more people that get on board, the better, because you can always single people out if there's very few people doing it, and then you can destroy that person's livelihood. They get doxxed, they lose their job, they're named and shamed, whatever. But if you have loads of people, and you know, and I think too with ESB, when you see all these businesses getting shut down because they can't pay the bills, you're going to see a huge reaction, a huge uproar.
Yeah, that's it. I'm hoping for it, you know.
That's what I'm hoping for that too, but I can't. Like once, I'm not sure when, maybe like November, October, November, maybe around that time, like maybe in the height of winter, I think you're going to see a huge backlash.
Yeah, I think so too. I hope, at least, you know. But you know, it's going good so far today. People are supporting, which is great to see. It's the first time here as well, so it's good to see the amount of support that we are getting from a first time in a city. So I'm glad that people are supporting. They're trying to listen. They're a lot more open than they were a few years ago, you know. So that's great to see.
I think that's what happens too. Like once the tyranny gets worse and worse and worse, you get more support, and that's I think that's what's happening with the Hold the Lines too. It's okay. You're only a right-wing conspiracy theorist for so long until
you're right.
Until you're right. Until okay.
Yeah, that's it.
You know.
Well, you know, I'm glad that it's going so good today. We got the weather that's fairly decent as well, so it's good. And thank you for the interview. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Good luck with today.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, David. Could we kidnap you for a few minutes?
Yeah, you can. I'd love Josie to give a few words. But she's so brilliant. I'll hide her behind here for now, but she's fantastic, and she did such a great job supporting Andy outside Roscommon. You know, outside Castlereagh Prison. That, you know, I was so glad to see everybody here in Roscommon. All these fantastic people coming together. In Roscommon and getting a little gang together, getting the people of Roscommon aware of what's happening. So it's fantastic. I didn't see you before.
Oh, yeah. I just started recently going when I'm free on the weekend. So you know.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying as much as I can when I'm free. You know.
Oh, fantastic.
It's good to be here. You know, I love it. I love the atmosphere. I love to see the people supporting. And I was surprised first when we were in New Ross for the first time. I was surprised at the amount of people that were actually supporting and honking. You know, which is great to see, because I remember a while ago there wasn't as much people, you know, willing to support. They'd be more willing to, you know, call us names rather than support us, you know. So it's great to see, you know, people supporting us now, you know, more and more, you know.
that's what happened. I mean, last year people were too afraid even to listen to us, and people had got into wartime mentality and they were following their leaders, following the plan, and they were literally attacking anybody who threatened the plan and the government strategy. So, now people are out of war mentality, which was something completely engineered by the media and government policy. And now they're willing to listen to us. And I think they also feel a little bit cheated, a little bit tricked, a little bit deceived. So the trust is not there, the confidence is not there. So we're voicing things that they didn't dare to say. And so and we're actually pushing the boundary, because when we put up things like cashless society, when we talk about the housing, when we talk about Irish neutrality, we're talking about things they're not seeing anywhere. They should be able to talk about it, but there's not a focus. And so we're giving them the courage, hopefully, or the permission to speak about these things. So also the cost of living, how fuel prices, that's all going to be a big part of it too. I mean, it's a double whammy with the fuel. You've got the climate change activists demanding that we put more taxes and restrictions on our fuel in our homes and in our cars, and you've got the NATO people senselessly challenging Russia. Now, I've loads of sympathy for the Ukrainian people, and I feel we were talking to Ukrainians last week, and they were saying they understand this is part of a globalist thing to take hold of their resources and to get the people out of Ukraine, because the people in a nationalist country, the people own the country. So in a global country, they want the people who own the country gone or disenfranchised. So the Ukrainian people we were talking understood that. So it seems insane that the West is challenging Russia on when Russia can just they're literally cutting their own throats. It's a useless strategy. It's the negotiating strategy of a child, and there is, which makes you think: is this part of the managed decline of the West? Is our leadership actually trying to destroy us? And it looks that way. It really does look that way. That people who hate empire are blaming the West for historical grievances and want to see the West and its values decline and end. So this is what this is all about, really. It's about it's about globalist strategy. So that's the deep end. But the people coming by, this is the first Hold the Line in Roscommon, and people are enjoying it. We're getting, as usual, no hostility at all. Recently, the last 6 months, at the beginning of the year, we did get some hostility. People, why were they hostile to us? I think they were hostile because we were challenging their sense of goodness, their good nature, their saving lives had been manipulated, and they felt that we were challenging this sense of righteousness that everybody felt during COVID. And so all of a sudden, we were the people who were saying, no, what you did wasn't good. And they didn't like that. But now, they don't mind. There's very few, there's a beep. Roscommon, Cavan, these Midland places, they're polite people, they're decent people. And that's what we're seeing here. They're respectful, and this is soaking in.
Yeah.
This is soaking into them, and they are glad that somebody is taking leadership, because all our political parties, the unions, all of civic society has been captured by what has it been captured by? It's been captured by a colour revolution. You know, a kind of colour revolution that you would have seen in America, that you would have seen in Ukraine, that you would have seen in other parts of the world. There has been a colour revolution in Ireland. And it's been so successful because we were one of these we were the most traditional European society. We didn't behave like the rest of Northern Europe at all, because we had a completely different experience. So for the globalists to show that they could transform a traditional society into a decadent, modern society, atomized, with no sense of, with no roots, made again like a little hatchling, completely innocent, young, not connected to anything, totally impressionable and teachable. So that's what they got in Ireland as soon as the Catholic Church and our sense of nationalism, republicanism, our pride in our history was gone. So that's what has happened, and we're trying to wake people up. I think the thing about Ireland is it's all happened in 20 years. 20 years ago, say in the 90s, say take 30 years ago, half of the Irish girls getting married were virgins, you know. That is unimaginable today, you know, and it's shown just how much Ireland has changed. But because we have the memory of old Ireland, these things are easy to reach back to. So Ireland has a very good chance of recapturing the good things about Ireland. And, you know, I mean, everything that has happened in Ireland hasn't all been bad. I mean, we do have on paper a 13% growth rate in Ireland. We have the benefit of all the new influences. We have lots of new connections. And, you know, going back to the age of saints and scholars, the time of St. Patrick, it was a similar time when you had a lot of different people moving around the world after the Roman Empire, and they were here in Ireland too, and that was our greatest opportunity for growth. We established something that everybody in Europe copied, and that was because we created an inclusive nationalism, which included a lot of people, but it was nationalism. It was a vision for Ireland, not a vision for the world like the British Empire, where you all our people and our resources go to serve somebody else's plan, somebody else's vision. No, that's the difference. The difference is that all the people who are in Ireland can get behind, put their resources and their people behind a vision for Ireland for the benefit of the people who are here. And that's what happened. And, you know, we saw an incredible strength here, something which some people claim created the foundations of modern Europe. So that's Ireland's only claim to fame. And, you know, this could all turn around. We could create a wholesome vision based on our tradition, our sense of place in the world, our understanding of God, and have something that we can really commit to, which creates good in the world. And I think we can do it again. So all is not lost. It's not doom and gloom. We're just trying to turn this around and create it into something better, and have a vision. We're not here to just get rid of the politicians out of the door. We're not here just to get everything to go away. We're here to stand for something, to win, to turn back the tide and create a new vision. And I think we have the potential for it. And we have to, I think over the next 5 years, we will turn the tide. I think the tide has already turned. I think that we will see we'll see next year, we'll see the COVID narrative crumble. I think this year it's still not popular. This year we can win on rights and freedoms. Next year we'll win on the whole vaccines and everything. And I think the following years our guys will create a vision that will sustain Ireland and lead it out and give it hope and give it a future. So that's what I'm hoping for. Thanks very much for listening to me. I always talk for a long time.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a good thing. That's a good
Do I sound okay there?
Oh, you sound perfect. No, I agree. People are just waking up. I feel like they realize that they've been tricked in some way, like you said, and they're more supportive rather than antagonistic. So it's great to see. I'm glad people are slowly waking up. And as you said, you have to have a vision. Ireland was always a great country since I got here. It had its traditions. Even when I got here 15 years ago, there was still a sense of tradition and a certain lifestyle, and it was inclusive, but it was still it has its national feel. It was still Ireland, but just inclusive, which was great to see. But now it's just, I feel like they're trying to strip it down into and get as much as they can from the country rather than working for the people.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying is very similar. I have a Sri Lankan friend, and he's been here for 40 odd years. He was the only there was a few people in the hospital system, but in Galway in the west of Ireland, he was here from, I think, the early 80s at least. And I remember him saying to me, he said, I like the way things are, and I don't want too much immigration because it would change the way people see me. And instead of being somebody connected into my community, integrated, who understands the environment that I'm in, all of a sudden I'm just one of many people, and people treat me different. They don't treat me so friendly. They treat me as a foreigner. And so, I mean, for us, we have to question the volume of immigration. Is that good for us? We also have to question, is it good for the immigrants even? Because if they're here just to be exploited, to pay high rents and low wages, to live all their time having a poor quality of life, that's not good for them either. What we do need is we need everybody who wants to be here, who commits to the Irish vision, to have something that they can all get behind together. We don't want people working against the national vision. And that's what the globalists want. That's what the American Democrats specialize in, bringing people in to support the empire, to support colonization. And this is it. A multicultural society is defined by one or two things. Is it an inclusive national vision, or is it an imperial colonial vision? You can take the same sets of people and come out with two different outcomes. So that's what we're talking about, and that's why we need an inclusive national vision for Ireland. So that's much of what we're talking about now,
Yeah, and I'd agree with that completely. It has to be that way because it's Ireland. It's not any different country. It's your country. So like I always love the atmosphere here, the way the people are. They're inclusive, and I like the traditions that the Irish people keep. Same as we have our own traditions, but I like to go to a different country and try to do the same traditions, follow the same traditions, try to learn about the culture, the history behind it. That's the great thing about it. You learn about a different country and about its similarities and things you have in common, because all countries have things in common, but the more you learn about a different country, the more you can realize that.
Yes. And in defending your own culture, you're defending our culture, because we need to preserve our little units of strength, which is what culture is. I think it's normal for 5 10% of people to intermarry. You want to have a integration of a certain percentage. That's normal. People fall in love. People have, this has happened in my own family. My grandmother's family were culturally what they call gypsies. So these are people who originate from India. So, they look like the Roma are today. I have pictures of them and they're dark, And so over time, for whatever reason, my great-grandfather decided that he wanted to, he didn't want to stay in that culture. He married into Irish culture. And somehow they kept on doing that. So now we have seven Irish grandparents and one gypsy grandparent. And but the good thing about it is that whole process has happened for us. And I was the first person to reproduce the Irish chariots, which were the horses, 2 horses and the chariot. And the reason I was able to understand that was because I had an education, I had a place in Irish culture, but I also had an understanding of that kind of traveller gypsy culture with the horses. I had done this. So that was a strength, not only to me now every day because I love the horses, but it also was a strength to Irish culture. That somebody was able to show. No, they could have, it could have been done by anybody, but for some reason it was done by me. And so I was on television, and I've been well publicised as Ireland's only charioteer. But what I'm really saying to you there is, over time, a process can happen, which which is beneficial. And we can. Some people, I think there's the guy up in Donegal said, unless you have 8 Irish grandparents, you're not Irish. And so in that case, I'm not Irish. I'm a plastic paddy. But as they say, a plastic paddy is better than a shite paddy. You can. It's really what contribution you make to the strength of culture, and that's our little body, that's our little fortress which defends us against exploitation by the rest of the world. You love yourself first, love your wife second, your family third, your community fourth, your village, your county, your country, and then the world. But the strength comes from, first of all, your respect and love for yourself, and then to everybody else as it goes out. So your fortress is as close as you to you. Your strength comes from within. So it comes from within, it comes from within your community, it comes within your culture. And anybody who is rootless is manipulatable, is not able to really negotiate from a vision, from an understanding of who they are and what they want and what they deserve. So that's why empires love uprooted people, and we're going to stand against that. And for all the uprooted people in the world, we need a place for them to come and belong, and to participate, and to put their strength and their confidence and their sense of place too. Everybody has to do it. And in a increasingly atomized world, everybody does have to find a place, but we want them to find a place in the nation, in the community, not in empire, not in all of these things, not in globalism. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for the interview. It was a pleasure talking to you, and good luck with the whole day today.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
The manager probably he said that he doesn't mind us having the protest here, but he'd like us to take down the signs off of the railings because that's their property.
Oh, the
so
railings.
that's no problem. I'll say it to Fiona.
Okay,
But
no
he was
worries,
very
no worries.
respectful.
Okay, that's good. Did he take a leaflet?
He did.
He did. Okay, that's good. Yeah, the manager from Dunn Stores just came out. Politely asked us to take off one of the signs that we had on this railing because it's their property, which is fair enough. He doesn't mind anyone's over here across the wall. It's just, it's on their property, so he just asked us politely to take it off. Wasn't hostile or anything, just politely came to ask. So we'll probably just do that, take that off, so we don't cause any issues. But yeah, day is going good so far. So far so good. Hopefully next week there will be more and more people joining us. Is it this one?
No.
That's the only thing we'll
No,
have
it's
to
this one.
take those off.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we will. We'll respect. I mean, the thing is, this is hold the line. We are not here to provoke anybody, and we avoid provocation. We're going to find somewhere else to stick that banner. But this is a great spot and we're going to mind it. So we're not going to fight with the manager. We need him to be on our side. And this is what we have to see. We have to see people as our allies. Now, if we were leafleting here, we would say something, or even inside, we'd say, look, this is open to the public. We have every right to leaflet here. But he is correct, this is his property or the property of John Stores, and we haven't got a right to, we could argue with him, but when you weigh it up, what's the advantage of getting into an arm wrestle with the Dunn Stores guy? We're not going to do that. And this is a front line with Middle Ireland. So what we want is we want all these people, including the businesses, to see us or to see us as allies. So that's what we're doing. We're not here to crush people. We're not here to win arguments and crush them. We're here to win allies. So what we're going to do by taking down that banner now, we're going to stick it up somewhere else, just on the march. By taking down that, we are showing him that we're not confrontational, that we're respecting him, and that's what we're doing. So that's what we're going to do, because when we weigh up the advantage of having that banner there compared to the conflict which we could create with the businesses, it's a judgment. I could be wrong. No, I could be wrong. Maybe we need to stand our ground and stick it up there and tell him to, where to go with himself. But at the moment, we're taking this line, we're going to take it down, and we're going to look for somewhere else to put it. And I think a great place to put it would be on the roundabout. And I don't think anybody will have a problem with that. And it's probably even a better place to put it. So, this is not confrontational. We're not trying to get arrested. We're not trying to provoke the guards. We're not trying to provoke the people. I thought today was going to be a second for Hold the Line. I thought that we were going to have, like we did in Cavan, a day where there wasn't a single hostile interaction. Unfortunately, I heard earlier on today somebody says, have you not jobs to go to? So Roscommon isn't going to follow Cavan in that there was not a single negative interaction. But in Roscommon there has been. People have come in, they've worked out who we are and what we're doing, they've gone and done their shopping, they're on the way out, and all the beeps are coming from the guys coming on the way out. They've worked out what we're doing, they've worked out what we're at, and they're all in favour. So we got them on our side already. We don't need to fight with anyone. And for people sitting at home who haven't come out, who haven't experienced the positivity, the people are not asleep. The people are not sheeple zombies. The people are awake to their rights and freedoms. They might not be awake to the vaccines yet, but a lot of them are coming round. But we're going to win them on rights and freedoms, and then once they've on board with the rights and freedoms, we're going to let them know about the vaccines and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm not creating law here. What I say is only for us and whoever, the few of us have agreed. I think there's a bit of a dispute over there now even. And listen, if I'm open to hear that I'm wrong, and that I don't create law, I don't tell people what to do. So we're going to go and do this somewhere else, and the guys have worked it out. It's going in the middle of the roundabout anyway. So, you know, it doesn't make any, you know, we still got the banner up. We've got a happy bank manager, or not a Dun store manager. He hasn't complained about the. I think he's leaving the. We'll leave the flag up. We'll leave the flag up. If he wants us to come out and tell us to take down the flag, well, then that's on him. But I'd say there are often Roscommon flags on that during the football. So we you know, we'll do a bit of one and we'll do a bit of the other and see how it goes. So yeah, things are good. This is a win-win. So we got to keep our eyes on the big picture. The day has gone very, very well. The positivity is here, especially from the traffic coming out from the store. Next week, they'll all know who we are. They'll all recognise, and they are all glad that there's someone here standing up for their rights and freedoms, because everybody knows the world has gone mad. So there's something very, very wrong. We're doing something about it. So, you know, that's the story here. And I'd encourage people to consider, like we have here, we don't have to win everything. We don't have to crush everybody with argument. Other people might. I encourage people not to. Because in the end, especially when you're doing Hold the Line, this is not about provoking people. This is not about upsetting people. This is not about alarming people. This is about winning their hearts and getting them to see that we are allies. What they're looking at us here is saying, that is my pain. These people are talking about my pain, you know, and that's a very powerful thing. When people see that we're talking, we're representing the things which really drive them, which really hurt them, you create a bond which never goes away. And so, you know, that's what we're doing here. Why would we want to pick a fight over a banner when we're winning? You know, when we're winning, just let it happen. Don't interfere. Just let it keep on going. So that's what I'd say. And to all the people who haven't come out and are saying you should have fought over that banner, that's the reason. Well, I've got to be careful what I say now. But if you're not participating, if you're not contributing, and you're creating conflict, you may actually not be helping what we're trying to do. What we've discovered here is that we don't need many people to change the face of a town. We may have had 10, 20 people, 1,000 people marching in Dublin. Where are they now? There's very few of them around. What we have here is 200 or 300 people every weekend holding these boards in every county in Ireland now, except Louth, and we've just about half an hour ago got a contact for Louth. So it looks like Louth is going to happen as well. So all the 26 counties and in Belfast we have a Hold the Line, 200 or 300 people, not 10,000. Where are the 10,000? We don't know. Maybe they're all online criticising us, I don't know. But we're here, we are changing the mood of the people. And the mood of the people is swinging behind us because we are reflecting their pain publicly. We're saying it. We are saying the things which are on their mind and on their hearts. That's all we need to do. And it only takes 6 to a dozen people in Roscommon to change the whole heart of the town. And that's all it needs. So, you know, we've won and we're going to win. And I've, to be honest, I've never felt better about what we're doing. And I encourage all the people who are at home, maybe getting into what Dara Flaherty has now coined the term neghead. You know, if you've got negativity, if you've got What is faith? What is fear? Faith is believing something good will happen to you. Fear is believing something bad will happen to you. We've got to change from believing something bad will happen, that the people are all asleep, that they're all sheeple. We've got to change that nighead mentality to a positive faith mentality of we believe that the future is going to be good, we believe that people are going to wake up, we believe we're going to save Ireland and we're going to save the world. I'm not going to do it because I don't save the world. We're going to do it, and we're going to make it happen. We're going to do it together. There's no heroes here. It's just a change of mindset in each individual. We got the subjective, the objective. If you're always looking at the world, how bad it is out there, that's objectivity. Now you can look at it in a good way too, but the subjective is to look to yourself, to change your own heart, to change your own mind. And the world is too objective at the moment. It needs to be more subjective. It needs to be more about the self. It needs to be more about prayer. It needs to be more internal. The young people need to stop thinking, oh God, I'm a scourge on the planet. You know, I am destroying the world. I shouldn't have a future for myself because I deserve to perish from the earth. It couldn't be worse than that. You know, that is neg-head attitude, and that's been taught in schools. What we need is to think, I matter, I have a purpose in the world, I have a destiny that I need to fulfill for good, and I have a vision to see the world a better place. And if people can get into that frame of mind, they will change the world, they will change what we're doing here. There's Katrina over there. She is a fantastic woman. She's the girl who coined the phrase fascism against Ireland instead of Ireland against fascism. And she has a heart of eternal enthusiasm. And there she is waving the flag, pulling the beeps out of the traffic. You know, 6 people here or 10 people here are changing Ireland, and you two as well, coming and reflecting. In fact, you're probably doing the most important thing, which is to multiply that, to take what is happening here and broadcast it to the world, to anybody who wants to listen. And you know, I encourage everybody, just come out, you know, just come out. If you're afraid to be seen in or if for very good reasons, look, I'd say this. If you're a guard who hasn't taken the vaccine, if you are a teacher, you have or a nurse, you have a right to stay under the radar, because you are making the system unworkable. You are standing up at the very heart of the system. So you carry on doing that. Don't lose your job over Hold the Line. But everybody else, come out here. If you're too embarrassed or too shy or too proud, you can learn to get over that. If, say, you really don't want to be in your local community, go to the next one. Say if you're in Dublin and you're in, I don't even know all the places in Dublin. Say you're in Liffey Valley, well then go to the next one. Go to the one up a bit further north or the one further south, or go to Bray or someplace where nobody knows you. You know, go to Tala, go to somewhere, and hold the board up there. You know, and then when you get a bit of confidence and you see how great this is, you'll want to not only go and support your own local one, you'll want to go and start your own one somewhere. Remember, in Kerry we now have 4 Hold the Lines. In Mayo there is 3 Hold the Lines, 1 in formation. In Wexford there's 3 Hold the Lines. You know, in Galway there's 2. So what I'm saying to you, where this has been going for longer, people are going more and more into the smaller places. You know, so you know, this is growing and growing and growing. And in the smaller places like Tuam, like Claremorris, like Kenmare, you might only have 4 people or 5 people, but it transforms those little places, and it inspires and gives them hope. So it's so important for people to get out. And Afrita, who is fully committed to our vision for Ireland, she's originally from Latvia. She is one of the greatest examples of a hard-working liberty lover in Ireland is, and she has provided leadership in just buckets and buckets of leadership in Kerry. She did a hold the line on her own, and she managed to see the guys love it. This is the first time we're in Roscommon. They've got it straight away, and you know, she has provided. She did, and she gave out a ton of leaflets on her own. So you know, there are brave people, there are courageous people, there are people who will stand up, and this is the place to do it. So easy, so positive, and that's why Hold the Line is such a great thing. It's doing so well. So thanks guys so much for coming out. Robert Pierzynski, I always say it wrong, but sure, you know. he never goes, oh, when I say that. But Robert Pierzynski, Action COVID, 1984, Hello Irlanda, and what's your own name? Eric Pierzynski. You know, this is so good what you're doing, Eric and Robert, and you know, what you're doing is so important. I encourage everybody to subscribe, to like, and to comment. I know Robert had one of his streams taken down the last week, so that's why it's so important to get onto the site, to sign up there, because Robert and Eric are the only people who are really reporting on everything that's going on in Ireland. You know, there was Gorman's whatever on Nationwide. They used to go around the country and report on important things. That doesn't happen anymore. These guys are doing it. So, you know, they're not charging anything. You just sign up, donate if you want, and follow everything that's happening in Ireland. And you know, it's a good thing. Turn it on, listen to it while you're going to sleep, and it's a lovely relaxing thing to do, and you keep in touch with everything happening. Steal our ideas, you know, learn the concepts that are happening, connect yourself to the network, and we'll change Ireland and we'll change Europe. So it's a great thing. God bless you all, and thanks for coming over and talking to us again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bless.
What do you think about Hold the Line?
I'm loving it so far. There's a lot of people coming, supporting. It's great. It's a very good idea. We just got confirmation that we might be doing in the final county in Ireland. So if they're gonna go for it, we're gonna have Hold the Line in every county in Ireland, which is great. I'm loving the atmosphere here. People are always so positive, people supporting, and it's just all about the, you know, atmosphere. You have to get people on board, you know, not try to shoot them down or anything. Just talk to them, have a conversation, say what's happening. You know, everything that's happening now is gonna affect all of us, whether we like it or not. So it's great. Happy to be here, happy to be a part of it, and I gotta have some photos to take. So I have to go back to it. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you very much too.
No problem.
See you later.
See you. Right, so we are here in Roscommon for the first Hold the Line. We're going to be finishing up the live stream. It's been a great day, great turnout. A lot of people supporting, even though it's the first time here. As Dave said, people going to the Dunn stores. They looked at the signs as they were coming out. They started honking. They understood it. Yeah. It's great, it's great. So I'm glad that it's been such a good turnout here. People are reading leaflets, people are willing to, you know, have a conversation with us. So yeah, it's been great. I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope when we get the videos up, share, like, and share in as much places as you can. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. We gotta stick together to get through all this, and we gotta get people on board with this. And so yeah, thank you for watching. We're all doing a great job. Thank you very much.